Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I spoke to Catlin Vastel, who is the head of home loan team at LHV Bank in Estonia. So I discussed with her as an expat, how can I apply for a home loan and what are the conditions that the bank looks at before approving the loans for especially for the expats. The criteria are quite same for the citizens and the foreigners living in Estonia. It's very useful information that I got out of her. Just one disclaimer, I recorded this video a few months ago around in September, but due to some personal reasons I couldn't post it earlier. So the interest rate discussion that I had with her, I had to take that part out because the information has changed completely. At that time the interest rates were at 2%, but now it has doubled. It is close to 5%. So I'm going to take that part out, but if you guys need it, I can record another video with Catlin in the next coming months, specifically talking about the interest rates and how the future looks and where are these banks expect these interests to go at. So I hope you enjoy the video. Thank you very much. All right. Thank you very much, Catlin, for agreeing to do this interview. We are really happy to have you here or in your office, by the way, and get to know more about the home loans in Estonia, especially with the LHV bank. So let's get into it. But before we start, can you tell us about yourself, like when you started, what do you do here?
Yeah, hi. It's pleased to be here, and I'm very glad that you chose LHV, as we have like a big plans in Estonian market. But about myself, I started in banking nearly 20 years ago, and my first bank was former Hansa Bank, which was currently is like Swedbank. So they teached us very well. And now I'm in LHV 7 years, so dealing with home loans here.
Okay, so you're part of the home loans team and
Yeah, I'm managing the home loan team.
okay, so you're the head of a home loan team. Okay, cool. Right. So as I said, the main aim of this interview is just to get to know about the home loans in Estonia, especially being a foreigner. Obviously, we want to settle down here. It's a nice place, safe place for us and for our kids. So we want to see how we can go ahead and take home loans when we want to buy a house. So if we can start with the main criteria that LHV has set in place for the home loans.
You mean for the foreign people?
Just the general one, but then we can go into this differentiation as well.
General ones is that your income must be sufficient for the loan you are applying. The easiest way to know it is to go to our website, and there is a loan calculator which tells you exactly that what is the maximum amount of loan you can get, taking into account your income and the obligations.
Okay.
So this is the main criteria. If you take the own financing part, then this minimum amount is 15%.
Okay.
There is exceptions. If you can take like a Credex surety, it's a state-based surety, it means that you can lower your self-financing. So minimum it can be 10%.
Okay, and what is that? I'm sorry.
There is 3 criteria you can meet. The first is if you are buying real estate, which is energy class is A, B, or C. So then you can apply. Then second one is when you have children under 15 years. And the third one is that if you have education and you are under 35. Then you can apply for this Credex, and it means that your self-financing is lower.
Okay, and all these 3 conditions needs to be met?
No, only one.
Only one out of these 3. So if we meet one condition, we can apply for that.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, and is this credit facility or this option is available for foreigners as well?
Yes, but it needs to. It amortizes together with the loan schedule, so it should be 0 before your living permit ends.
Okay.
So there depends how much you can get it.
Okay, so let's say I'm on a 5-year residence permit at the moment. Obviously, I will extend it after 5 years, right? But what would be the loan term for me if let's say I want to go for 100,000 euros loan today?
Yeah, there is 2 things. There is this loan term and how long is the schedule when we calculate your monthly payment.
Yeah.
It can be different.
Okay.
So if I start with the simple one, is this that the loan schedule can be up to 30 years,
Yeah.
but your age can't exceed 75.
Okay.
So if you take the calculator, put this 100,000, 30 years, interest average 2, then you will get the monthly payment.
Okay.
But the loan term is for foreign people is related to your living permit.
Yeah.
So if you're 5 years, then in the end of 5 years it will end. But if you will present us the new one, it will automatically extend.
Okay, but then the monthly loan payments would still be on the 30 years
Yes,
basis.
exactly.
Okay. So even with like a limited time period residence permit, we can still get a 30-year loan.
Yes.
And then we just have to keep showing you the extension
Exactly.
of the permits, and then it'll be okay.
Yeah, automatically it will extend.
Okay. And you spoke about the self-financing, so it's 15% minimum. That also depends on the income, or it's just like, okay, it's 15%?
This is the minimum. It will depend on the client and real estate also what they're buying. If the real estate condition is not so good, or the location is not so good, it can be higher.
Okay, so it depends on the property that we are buying as well. Another thing you said, like if it's energy A, B, or C, then we can apply for the government.
Credex, yeah.
Yeah, but that means most of the new apartments fall into those categories, not the older ones, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So if anyone wants to get the benefit of that or lower their self-financing, then they should look for new apartments, new buildings.
Yeah, if you want to apply to this energy category,
Yeah.
if you have a child or you have higher university degree, then it's also okay.
Okay, right. I also want to understand the terms would be up to 25 or 30, whatever we want or whatever we agree on it, both the parties. But is there any condition that because of this permit that you have a set, loan term that, okay, you won't go over that? I don't know, let's say 15 or 20 years.
No.
Okay.
No.
It's
depends
not the case.
case by case, and depends on the borrowers.
Okay.
Not a general condition that no, you cannot get more than 20.
Okay. Right. Now we can get into like the difference between the conditions if a foreigner is applying and a regular or a citizen of Estonia is applying. Yeah.
The only difference is the term of the contract. No other differences. All the rest of this loan analysis, what our loan managers are doing, is exactly the same. We take the customer, what is the job, who you are, what is occupancy, how long you have worked there, what is your income, your obligations, your payment history. So basically all this is the same. The only thing is this loan term. If you have living permit, then this loan term is related to this living permit. Okay.
So with the foreigners, it's just we need to keep presenting you the documents and then you extend it. But for citizens, they don't have to do that. But everything else stays the same.
Exactly.
That's really good. I was under the impression maybe there are some criteria different for the foreigners because we are not the citizens or the permanent residents yet. But that's not the case.
Yeah. Maybe the only thing I would point out that if you just have arrived, so no history in Estonia, then it's difficult to get a loan. But if you have lived here, you have a salary in our Estonian bank for at least 6 months, and you say that yes, we see that we want to live in Estonia and own a property, then no problem.
So here, if we have been in the country and working for the last 6 months, that's the main criteria for you. Okay.
Because we want to see the history. If you're just coming, it's very hard to evaluate.
Yeah, and I completely understand that, and it makes sense as well. Okay, the second is, are there any differences in the interest rates for these home loans depending on the position that the borrower is working on? Like if it's
definitely.
Okay.
But it doesn't matter that if you are a foreigner or Estonian people. So the better the customer, the better the interest.
Okay, let's say, because why I'm asking, one of my friends got this loan, but she took it from Swedbank. But because she is like a middle-level manager, so she got a little less interest rate on the home loan. So I just wanted to understand what is the criteria on that.
No, there is not that I can point out like
Okay.
3 of them. It's combination of everything,
Okay.
basically. That how long you have worked, what is the history with the previous loans, what is the exact position, the company, the salary level, how
Okay.
much you have saved, etc.
Okay, but would you have an average on the in terms of salary that this is the minimum salary you should be getting every month, and then we can put you in a different category for
No.
lower interest rate? No, so you just
No.
evaluated at that time.
Exactly.
Okay.
All the projects are separately based on the facts we have.
Okay. Okay. Right. Yeah, I completely agree with that. But okay, now let's talk about Euribor. Like, can you explain that in like complete layman tone? Like, what is Euribor and how does it affect the home loans that people have already taken?
I try to do it as simply as possible, but it's quite hard to understand for the customers. So basically, Euribor is average interest rate, or so to say, price of the money for the money, where in Europe the high-rated banks are loaning in the market or placing their free money. European Central Bank is one of the most wanted banks to borrow money because they have like endless bucket of money, and they are the most safest place to put the money. But the small banks cannot borrow from the central bank, so there exists a separate market for the small banks. But in the small market or small banks market, there is a lot of central bank money. What is there? So basically, when the central bank changes the interest rates, automatically this loan market interest rates changes, and this is how the Euribor rates change. And how does it affect the people is, for example, in Estonia, 95% home loans are related with 6 months Euribor. So if it raises, all the customer monthly payment raises. Okay,
but I get that. How is that? What does that mean? 6-month Euribor on your website as well. Like, what does that mean actually?
Yeah, it means that the Euribor changes after every 6 months. So 6 months is fixed, so your monthly payment is the same for 6 months, and then it changes.
Okay, so it's every 6 months payment may change if the Euribor changes as well.
Yes.
Okay, so at the moment, let's say I have taken a home loan from you, I don't know, let's say in January, and now the Euribor has gone up a bit. So I was reading in the newspaper. So that means the payment for even those loans would go up as well.
Yes, for all the loans, because 95% all the loans in Estonia are related with 6 months Euribor. When it was 0, all the customers had the same monthly payment, but now it changes.
Okay, but your interest rate doesn't change. Like if you have given me a loan on, let's say 1.8, right? So it will stay the same.
Exactly.
But the Euribor percentage would change.
Exactly.
Okay, and if Euribor starts going down, then again you will pass it on to the customers.
Exactly. In that sense, Euribor is quite transparent because you can see the rate, and it's same for all the customers. So
okay, right. Tell me one thing. Like as you said, the competition is quite fierce. I have seen few examples where people are like, the home owners or the people who were seeking loan went with Swedbank, then LHV, just because Swedbank was able to offer them a lower rate of interest than LHV. Why do you think that is? And LHV being like a very aggressive and very customer focused as well. I would say, because I've been with LHV for almost 3 years. I never used Swedbank. But then again, why do you think Swedbank is having more customers in the home loan?
Swedbank started granting home loans more than 20 years ago. We started 2016. So that's why Swedbank is the biggest. But we will not let them live too peacefully. Because we have great ambitions as well. And if you're asking why they have cheaper interest rates, so you mean the lower part. The capital cost for them currently is better, but we are working with it. So soon, I think we have the same opportunities. But for taking home loan, I advise not to only look the interest rate, but the whole package. Because if you're choosing a home loan, you will choose your new home bank. So you have to look what is the prices for everyday banking as well. What is the prices for payments you are making every day? What is the price for card and all the other stuff? So if you look the whole package, I can proudly say that LHV currently is the cheapest bank, because if you take the virtual card, what is our newest product, then it's totally free of charge to be our customer.
Okay.
So the payments are free of charge.
Yeah, it makes sense. Like we have to look at other services as well. But I would also say if a person is taking 100,000 or let's say 150,000 euros as a loan, I don't think they would look that much into it. But as a selling point, it's a really good selling point because, as I said, I'm with LHV, and if I want to transfer money within Estonia, I don't have to pay anything. It's free. But if I want to pay from Swedbank, they would charge me, I don't know, even 50 cents or 1 year or whatever, but they do charge fee for everything. So you do have a point there.
Our customers' confidence index, where Estonia is measuring it, is the lowest ever.
Okay.
But to the other side, the deposit amount in customers' account is the biggest ever. And if you take the high inflation, probably the customers want to feel better if they buy real estate.
So you are saying that the money in their savings account, the balances are at the highest level.
Exactly.
Okay, and then instead of losing to inflation, they are trying to invest it and buy real estate. Now, let's say some people have, let's say, taken loan from another bank. They don't like the condition, and if they want to refinance it, do you help the customers with that? If yes, what are the criteria for that?
Yeah, it's quite easy. We have just recently, before the summer, put it to our website as well, the special section that if you want to refinance, what to do. But generally, it's quite easy. You have to fill the application. Then you can write that what is your current conditions, and our loan manager exactly can tell you that can we offer you better conditions.
Okay, so with that, you can even, if the client's conditions are good, then you can even give them the loan at a lower rate, maybe. Yeah? Okay, and the refinancing will be for a new timeline, right? The loan term would be completely new.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you want to extend it, you can basically can. If you took a loan 5 years ago and now you want to extend it back to 30, it's possible with refinancing. And this is the one option in the crisis, in the time of crisis, also to get the monthly payment lower.
Okay, but instead of buying an apartment, if I want to buy a land and then build a house on it, so are there any differences in the loan processing?
Yeah, it depends when you are coming to the bank. If you want to get a loan to buy a land, or you have bought a land and that you want to build a house.
Okay.
For the land, just the land, we give you the loan term 3 years.
Okay.
In that period, you should have the project, the plan, the builder, and come back and do something. The loan schedule is the same as I explained for the foreign people. It can be long, so the monthly payment is normal for you.
Okay.
But the term is that we don't want to stay in that land position too long.
Yeah.
So we give you the 3 years just to plan your things.
Okay, so in that 3 years, but what would be the loan amount then? So as a client, I would
50%
come with...
for the land, we finance 50%, 50.
Okay, right. But in the 3 years, you want me to come back with like the house plan, how much it's going to cost me or whatever my plans are, and then you would approve it.
Yeah, then it's the question that how you will build the house, how much loan you will need, what is your self-financing part, who will build it, and what is the house you are building.
Okay, so and in this case, does the self-financing rate changes? Like instead of you would ask more?
Yeah, building a house, the minimum is 30%, is 30.
Okay, but why is that?
Because the houses, for example, are more expensive. And for the more expensive real estate, our financing rate is lower.
Okay.
So if we want to buy, for example, €1 million apartment, then we will ask you minimum 30%.
My next question is,
as I said, like other banks have been like quite aggressive as LHV, but what are the other main points that you would like to highlight that LHV is better at? Obviously, we talked about the general daily banking thing, but any other point that you would like to highlight?
Yeah, we are the only bank who is offering for everybody the early repayment free of charge.
Okay.
So it means that you can partially repay your loan, or if you end the contract before the term, because we see that 95% loans are terminated before the term.
Okay.
Because the life cycle for a customer is to change the real estate after 10 years in Estonia, for Estonian people. So if you take the 30 years loan, you see that actually after 10 years you want to change your home. So you will meet this early repayment, and in our bank it's flexible and free of charge.
Okay, yeah, it's okay, I get it, but it's a good option or good opportunity for LHV customers. So, guys, as you have just heard this discussion, I think there are some good options as well. And if I would have to go at the moment, I think I would definitely look into LHV more than any other bank. But you can make your own decisions. I'm going to leave details for the home loan team just in the episode and in the description as well, so you can contact them. I'm sure you would get a bit better services than other banks in Tallinn or in Estonia. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks.